my friends, welcome to new guitar day in the metal shop. We're in the upstairs Guitar City, paying no attention to the dirty workbench. Today I have my faithful shop assistant with me, Brady Clark.
What's up? Twitch.tv/refuelqt. Letter Q and then the letter T.
Okay, he's giving his shameless plug. I'm going to turn the camera over to him.
It's not shameless.
Anyway, so what we have here is the Jackson Adrian Smith SDX. And I bought this I really bought it for parts. I have always liked the Adrian Smith Jacksons ever since he was on the cover of Guitar for the Practicing Musician back in like 1987, 88, something like that. And he had the Black Jackson on the cover of that magazine, but it was cool to see a Strat head Jackson. You didn't see very many of those back in the day. Anyway, so I bought this, I bought it for the neck, and I got a really good deal. This was a return. I think these sell for $4.99 street. I believe I got this one for $3.79. Faithful Cutco knife, my superstitious Cutco knife that I open all my big purchases with. Got that from my brother back in the day. He was selling these Cutco knives. So I was kind of, it's very heavy. I was surprised by how heavy it is because it's just a guitar and no case. So, yeah, okay. Got some lingering paint stuff over there. It's pretty well packed. Nice job here. I guess it's probably just a heavy guitar. This thing was definitely gonna do pretty nice job packing this so that you can send just a plain guitar, no case, no gig bag, no nothing, without having to worry about any damage to it. Very nicely done. Got the bar in here, and this was a customer return, so it may have a nick or a ding or something in it. I'm not sure.
Big reveal.
Maybe if we can ever get this shroud off of it. It wants to hang up and tear. There we go. Oh, not bad. Look at that. They give you this over the switch tip. That's pretty nice. This is yeah. Not bad. Not bad. The neck is really nice. Doesn't have that stupid truss rod cutout in it. Two-piece maple. Nice logo there, Adrian Smith's signature. Nice locking clamp here. Feels good on the edges. Nice rolled fingerboard here. Nice non-recessed Floyd, which I really like. This pickup, these are Jackson pickups. That's supposed to look like a DiMarzio. The Allen pole pieces. Looking pretty nice. Here's just the bar. Yeah, so anyway, so I bought this really just for parts. Plan on stripping the neck off this, using it for another guitar to come. I'll do a series of videos on the build there. But this still has the plastic over the pick guard here. This is pretty nice. So yeah, I'm gonna give it I'll give it a quick tune, quick little bit of this, a little bit of that, and we'll give you a real quick playing demo. Cool. All right, well, got my trusty lunchbox Galleon Kruger 250 ml fired up, which is what Iron Maiden used on Somewhere in Time. Awesome. And yeah, the action's a tiny little bit high. Tuned it up. They had loosened the locking nut and kind of slacked the strings a little bit. This volume knob is very, very, very stiff. I just threw this bar on rather than open the one in the package. I had it on the workbench. So yeah, let's give it a whirl. you'd expect from a, you know, a very inexpensive Asian-made guitar. It needs a good amount of tweaking to get the setup right. I think the intonation needs to be set. The bar is still floating, so getting it tuned was a little bit of a chore. First thing I would do if I was going to keep this guitar just like this is I'd block that Floyd so that it only went down. Your tuning stability would be greatly increased. But anyway, this is just a tiny little tidbit. This isn't really like a huge review. Like I said, I bought this to get the neck, this awesome Jackson neck. Find me a Jackson maple Strat headstock neck for $380, which is what I paid for this guitar in total, with tuners, with a well-installed locking clamp. We got Jackson strap buttons. We got a Floyd Rose Pro. The pickups I don't think are great. I didn't really, you know, mess with the single coils much at all. 5-way switch. Anyway, still to come what we're gonna do with the Jackson Strat headstock. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Awesome. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Metal Shop. NGD here, or New Guitar Day. So in conjunction with the Jackson Adrian Smith that I purchased, I said it was that I was going to scavenge parts from this for a project. So time to reveal that project. And I waited a few extra weeks. This body came in from China. I think it's a second from a factory there. I'm not sure which model this is. Maybe you guys will recognize it and you can let me know. But without any further ado, here we go. So it's a Telecaster set up for backloaded. And anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm making a copy of Jerry Cantrell's original Warmoth Telecaster, which was white, had one pickup, had a Kaler on it. So we got some work to do here. Anyway, not sure what, like I said, it was black, you know, 2 pickups, 5-way switch here, regular tele style string through bridge. This did have one thing that I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't really like has this sculpted neck heel with the neck screws arranged thusly, and I'm not super thrilled about that, but we'll live with it. This is a project guitar. It's not going to be anything spectacular. So I've already done a tiny little bit of work here. I drilled out, unfortunately, I would have used small dowels to fill these holes, but it was they were countersunk here. So what I did was I used a regular nice like a Forstner bit just to open these up to 3/8, and I cut myself some wooden plugs there. Now they fit really tightly, but what you do is you can fill the holes and put a little bit of wood glue in there. Anybody recognize this cavity shape? I'm not sure. So I'm going to have to cover up the 5-way. I'm going to have to, make a nice little plug for that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to body work this guitar. I'm going to fill this pickup. I'm going to fill this. I'm going to route it for the Kaler. And I have one. I'll show you just briefly. This is a real nice steel and brass version from the 80s. Not like one of the new ones. I want one of the original ones. It's in good shape, but it's dirty and crusty and will have to be torn apart and completely restored, and I'll do that in a separate video. So I've also made a nice blank. Luckily, I had a little bit of hardwood hanging out in the basement of the metal shop. So this is a nice piece of maple. This body is all mahogany, by the way. So I cut this out. I used a pickup template. Where is it? Is it over here? I don't know what I did with it. Maybe I left it out in the garage. Anyway, I used a routing template to make this. I had to sand it even a little bit smaller. Fits in there super duper snugly. So I'm going to have to score this in here. Use some tight bond. We'll put that in. But it's going to get, some body filler over it. I'm not going to do this right. You want to do this like the GMW way, and you want to do it perfectly. They put a whole veneer over the whole body. I'm not going to do that. This is going to be, if you see, I'll insert some pictures of Jerry's guitar. It's rough. It originally had some artwork on it, but it looked like it was actually black underneath, painted white. Names were scratched into it, maybe Sharpied. It's pretty rough. So I'm kind of embracing that pretty rough theme, and we'll go with that. So we're going to glue that in. We're going to glue the plugs in. And yeah, and anyway, so I'm going to use the neck off of the Jackson. His had a strat head neck on it. And I like Jackson Charvel. That's a really nice neck for a reasonable price. So I'm going to use that. And I may turn that white body into, I bought a set of Jerry's stickers for the blue dress girl. So what I may do is I'll put this on here, his G&Ls. So turn this into more or less a white guitar and put those stickers all over that, and I'll have 2 tributes in one. You see Eddie back there, Fast Eddie Clark. Oh, gathering dust, it's a shame. I do have another Jackson logoed neck up there. I think that's a Warmoth. I'm not sure. I could paint the headstock white, re-logo it, and use it on that guitar. Anyway, we're always building, always scavenging parts and putting this and that and the other thing together. So that's what we're doing here, is a couple of Jerry Cantrell replicas. So, all right, let's get this going on. All right, so it's a day later here. Have the pickup filled. I kind of gave it a skim coat of just a tight bond. Sands pretty well. Kind of weird. It's a little high here. The piece that I cut, so that means the pickup cavity wasn't level. A little bit high here, a little bit low here. It should have been low. From my measurements, the piece I used was exactly 3/4 of an inch. Pickup cavity was just a hair, maybe a 32nd bigger than that. Taller, deeper than that. So, but it's definitely high here, definitely a little bit low here. Doesn't matter. I'm going to sand this all out and I'm going to body work it. Anyway, I have the 5-way switch. I just have a piece of tape over that. I think what I'm going to do here, we'll flip it over. I believe what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill that little pocket with JB Weld. Tight bond is not, it's not really a good filler. So I think we'll give it a try. I'm going to try and fill it up with JB Weld. You can see I have the string throughs filled. One of them ended up a little bit proud. I thought I cut these all the same and to the right depth. Doesn't matter. Again, these are going to be sanded and body worked. And sorry I didn't take you along with that, but really all I did was drizzle a little bit of Tite Bond in there, and I tap them in with my little small ball peen shot hammer here. I had to jam a piece of dowel in there because what was happening was, it took me a second to figure it out. I'm trying to fill this tiny little gaps full of Tite Bond, and this just kept draining out and draining out and draining out. Duh. There was a hole, the drilled in there for the wire, and the glue was just running down that. So I had to jam a piece of dowel in there, and then of course it was a wooden dowel stuck in there with wood glue. So it, anyway, I cut it flush with a chisel, and then I just rounded it off with a round rasp there. So yeah, we'll get this filled with JB Weld, and yeah, I had to chisel out. There's some really thick paint around these edges here. It came off really nicely. I just kind of scored it with an X-Acto knife and peeled it off. But whatever finish is on this guitar, it's very, very thick. And yeah, so anyway, again, anybody recognize this control cavity? What is this thing? It's nice. It's a nicely built guitar. So yeah, let's get that going on. All right, just a real quick follow-up here. Got the JB Weld filled 5-way switch hole. Let's see that in there. Came out pretty good. It's pretty flush in there. It's a nice color. You paint this, you hardly even notice that it's there. I thought about ordering a custom-made body completely. Just one pickup, already routed for the Kaler, but that kind of defeats the purpose. I've got a little over $100, including shipping, into this one, and it's kind of makes the project, you know, filling this in, filling this in, filling the holes in, routing for the kaler myself, versus just buying a body, and it would be, you know, probably $225 or more shipped to my door for that body. Anyway, just something I was thinking about. So let's see how we did here. Okay, so looks like filled the slot in this one hole pretty good. Looks like here kind of got like a little air pocket there, but no big deal. This all has to get body worked. So that's what'll be next. We're gonna actually go to my friend's body shop, and I'm gonna use body filler, and we'll sand this, body fill it, sand this, body fill it, and here on the back we'll sand those and body fill those in preparation of paint for the Jerry Cantrell Telecaster. All right, we'll see you in a little while. So I think actually, now that I've said that, we're gonna end here. This will be part one. We'll pick up part two at the body shop. So as always, my friends, thanks for watching. Thank you for your support. Truly appreciate it. Please give me a like. Hit me up in the comments. Click subscribe if you're new to the channel. Tons of good content on there. Click that little bell so you get notifications of my videos. I'm trying to crank one out once a week, but I'm at least doing 2 to 3 a month at this point. Again, not YouTube, not my full-time job, but I've always got stuff cooking here in the metal shop. Truly appreciate your support, my friends. All right, Jerry Cantrell Telecaster, part one. All right, take care. You still here? Why are you still here? Hey, little bonus. I did start marking out for the kaler. Right here, as I measured with a neck on, that's 25.5 inches. That's your scale length. And then you measure back for the first 2 mounting holes for the bolts where the kaler goes in. That's one of your main points, 1.93 inches. So I had to factor that out to a fraction. It's 1 15/16, more or less. That's that line there. So yeah, getting ready for that kaler. Kalers, oh my goodness, what have I done?